Welcome to this video. This video is going to be all about what platform is best for you, either Amazon, eBay, or your own website. And in this video, I'm going to go into each individual one, look at the pros and cons, and hopefully really help you understand which is best for you. Before we get started, don't forget to give this video a thumbs up, leave a comment down below if you haven't already done so, and also subscribe if you're new to the channel. Enjoy the video. In this video, we're going to talk about selling on Amazon versus eBay versus your own website. We're going to look at the pros and the cons, and we're going to see which one is right for you. And you never know, they might all be right for you, but in this video, hopefully you'll have a better understanding of which one would end up being the best for you. So we're going to start with Amazon because everyone knows Amazon is what I do at the moment. I've done all three of these things. These three things are Amazon, eBay, and your own website, or like using Shopify or something like that. So I've done all of these different models, and my favorite is Amazon. So we're going to start with Amazon. So firstly, what is Amazon? I'm sure you know what Amazon is. I mean, who doesn't know what Amazon is? But Amazon, people don't really realize how big Amazon actually is. Amazon is huge. In fact, I think it's, I read an article where they said Amazon is projected to make 250 billion this year. I think it was something like 49%. I've got the notes over here. Something like 49%. Yeah, 49% of online sales is just Amazon. I'm just thinking that is absolutely ridiculous. They are crushing it, right? They are doing so well. So that's what Amazon is. And let's look at some pros and cons of Amazon. I've got notes over here because it's a lot of information. So Amazon, the best part of Amazon is that you have access to all of their customers. And if you don't know how many customers Amazon have just over 310 million customers. That's like literally 5 times the size of the UK. 310 million. So Amazon have a ridiculous amount of customers, and of those 310 million, I believe it's something like 100 million of them have Amazon Prime, which means that they are 100% going to buy on Amazon, and if you sell on Amazon, your product will have access to Prime. So the fact that 100 million people have access to Prime as well just will help you get so many more sales. So that is probably the main benefit of Amazon, that you have access to all of these customers. You don't have to really go out there and bring in your own people. Amazon is technically, it is simple to get started. I mean, it can have its complications, but thinking about it, it is quite simple to get started. Amazon have something called FBA, which means Fulfillment by Amazon. And to put it short, basically what that means is you would order some stock from wherever, let's say China, it could be from wherever, and you get that stock shipped or sent to Amazon's fulfillment warehouses, which are all over the country, in America, in England, all over the place. Okay, you get all your stuff sent there. Then you create your listing on Amazon like you would on any other platform. You create your listing. Once you've created your listing, you can pretty much sit back at that point. It's like that. I mean, like I said, Amazon have 310 million customers, so people will see your listing. There are obviously things you can do to get more sales, but it is as simple as that. You can put it on, and then when someone buys your product, Amazon will ship it to the customer, they'll do the packaging, they'll do all of that sort of stuff, and you literally don't have to touch anything. So that is probably why Amazon is very easy to get started. I wouldn't say the easiest to get started, I would say eBay is, but I think Amazon is very easy to get started. So another huge thing is advertising is all run through Amazon's like network sort of thing. So you have a Seller Central account. It's like your Amazon portal. It's like your seller portal sort of thing. And within that, you can set up adverts that are directly shown on Amazon. You can set up everything you need. And the reason it's so beneficial is because having an Amazon ad for your product is so much better than having any other type of ad for your product, because people are already on Amazon shopping, and if they see an ad for your product on Amazon, there's a very high chance that they'll click it, and also a very high chance that they'll buy it. But if they're scrolling on Facebook or Google and they see your ad, they might not actually want to buy that at that time. But with Amazon, you know they want to buy it because they are literally searching for your product, and then you show it in front of them with an ad. So the ads tend to have very, very good conversion rates. And like I said, it's all built into the back end of Amazon's portal that you get access to. So it makes the whole thing very, very easy. Another huge thing is there are lots of communities, programs, courses, tools out there that can really help. There's our Facebook group. We have a free Facebook group. There are plenty of other Facebook groups. There are forums on Reddit and lots of stuff on Quora. All of this free information helping you. There are obviously paid courses as well, which are really, really good. And then there are tools to help you throughout the process, like AMZScout is a great tool for finding products, getting product ideas, finding out if products are going to be profitable. So in this day and age, you have so many resources that can really, really help you with Amazon. And I think that's a huge pro, because when I started selling on Amazon, we didn't really have this. We didn't have all these tools and resources, and a lot of it was stuff we had to figure out ourselves, which made testing expensive, really expensive. But now it's not really like that, so that's really good. So we've now looked at some pros. Let's look at some cons, because not everything is rainbows and unicorns and amazing. Some stuff, or everything has some cons to it. So let's have a look at the cons. So firstly, the first one is you could think Amazon is a hugely competitive market. Like, there are, I believe, 2 million sellers on Amazon, and you could be thinking, that is insane, I don't want to get near that. However, hold your horses, because yes, Amazon is hugely competitive, but if you have a product in the right market, if you have a product in the right niche, then you're sorted. So yes, technically Amazon is hugely competitive, but that doesn't mean you can't sell on Amazon. There is still so much room, and Amazon is only getting bigger and bigger and bigger. Like I said earlier, that they're projected to hit 250 billion. They're only getting bigger, right? I believe Amazon was the second company to hit 1 trillion just after Apple, and Apple don't actually let you sell with them. Amazon let you sell on their platform. So yes, Amazon is competitive. However, if you do it right and you use the right tools to help you along the way, then I don't see why you should have any issues, really. Another one is, and I don't really think this is such a big deal, but it is a con. Returning something on Amazon is very easy for a customer. So Amazon make it incredibly easy as a customer to return something. And I know this firsthand because I've returned stuff to Amazon, and I'm sure you've returned stuff to Amazon. Amazon make it incredibly easy. And to be honest, I don't think that's such a big deal, because as someone who has an Amazon business, I know exactly what our return rate is. And the last time I checked, I think it was like 2% or 1.7% return rate, which is so unbelievably low. It doesn't even, we don't even have to calculate that onto anything, because it's just, it's so low, right? It doesn't matter. 1.7% doesn't make any difference to our business, really. So yes, they make it super easy for customers to return. However, that isn't necessarily a con, because it doesn't just mean people are going to return stuff. And there are methods and ways to ensure people don't return stuff, which we talk about in our course, and which I speak about in my YouTube channel as well. So if you're thinking I'm going to get lots of returns, don't worry, because it's not going to happen. Another con is that, and when I say con, I don't mean it's like a scam, I just mean another negative, is that Amazon's fees are quite high. And to be honest, so let me just quickly tell you the fees. So you have a 15% referral fee on any sale. So let's say I sold this laptop, right, for £1,000. £150 goes to Amazon, because that's 15%. Quick maths. And you also have a pick and pack fee. So remember I said that you send stuff from your supplier to Amazon's warehouses, and they pick it and they pack it and they send it out. So you have to pay for that as well. And that is dependent on how big and heavy the item is. Now you may be thinking, whoa, I don't want to be paying 15% plus this extra pick and pack fee. It's so much money. That's huge scam. No, it's not. It really isn't. And I'm going to tell you why. Think of it like this. You are selling on Amazon's platform. They have spent billions, literally billions, building up this business, right? They now have, like I said, 310 million customers. You're getting access to all of those people, right? you're not getting access to all those people. So the fact that you have to pay like a premium to get a sale doesn't seem like the biggest deal, because it's like me saying to you, I will sell your phone for you, I'll do all the work, really, I'll even ship it to the customer, I'll do everything, and if they want to return it, I'll sort that out. If they have any questions, I'll sort that out, but I want to take 10% of the sale. Is that unheard of? No, it makes sense, right? They're doing you a service, you're paying for that service. So yes, technically their fees are high, and their fees are higher than other platforms like eBay and your own website, but it's because they have the largest customer base, they have the largest market share for sales online. They are the biggest and the best. So the fact that you have to pay a bit, I personally don't see it as a negative, but technically it is, right? Because it is there, and they are the most expensive. Another one, and the last con, would be Amazon is very, very strict with rules. Now, we've never really had a problem, or we've had one problem, but we really rectified that problem in a couple of hours. But Amazon are very, very into their rules. So like, you can't have a title that's too long, you can't have specific things in your images, you can't have like crazy descriptions with tons of images and all that sort of stuff. There are a few things that you have to be aware of. And like I said, I discussed that again in other videos on my channel, discussed that in our course. But what's important to know is if you break Amazon's rules, they will tell you, of course, and it could lead to suspension or banning of your account, which seems very, very big and drastic. Now, that's never happened to me. I know one other person it's happened to out of thousands of sellers. A lot of the time you can get the account back, but it is there, so it should be there. It's not, so Amazon, so you can compare it to Facebook. Facebook advertising, it's very easy to get banned if you do anything wrong. And once you're banned on Facebook, you're gone. They do not care anymore. Amazon is slightly different. Amazon, firstly, it's much harder to get banned. And when you are, you still can sort the problem out and fix it and just continue to sell or set up a new account. Like one big thing with Amazon is if you have a seller account, they don't want you setting up 2 seller accounts. You're only allowed 1 unless you speak to them and tell them the situation and they say, okay, you can have 2. If you just set up 2 of your own accord, that could lead to a suspension of some sort. But like I said, it's uncommon. It's not like every day. There are horror stories out there, of course, of people getting banned, and there will always be. But out of the millions of sellers, a tiny minority of them have had banning issues and suspension issues and stuff like that. So again, it is a con, it's a negative, but I wouldn't dwell on it, if that makes sense. So that is Amazon, the pros and the cons. At the end of the video, I will do a sum up of it, like a very short minute sum up, so you know what's still going on. But let's quickly have a look at eBay. Well, firstly, what is eBay? Well, eBay have about 6% of the market share, and compared to Amazon, I think it's, what was it say? I said 1/8 of Amazon's market. Was it 1/8 or 1/6? It looks like it says, I wrote 1/8 of Amazon's market, which if you think about it, that's nothing. It's really nothing. And I personally thought eBay was a lot bigger, but after doing all the research and finding out, it turns out that it's not. It really isn't. So eBay is basically, I'm sure you know what eBay is. It's a marketplace. You list your own stuff. A lot of private sellers. There are a lot of businesses as well. You list your stuff. Someone will buy it, and you will personally pick and pack and ship it, unless you have some sort of deal with a shipping company, or you are using some sort of fulfillment company. So what are the pros with eBay? So one pro with eBay is it has lower fees. So at this point in time, eBay take a 10% fee off the final price of the item. So if you sell an item for £100, eBay will take £10, and they have a cap. I think their cap is £50 if I remember correctly. So if you sell a car for like 20 grand, they are not going to be taking 10% of that, 2 grand of that. That's as far as I'm aware. When I was selling on eBay, that's what it was like. And now I just randomly sell on eBay. And then they also have very, very minimal listing fees. It's like 20 or 30p. And if you do an auction, because eBay is all about auctions, then most of the time it's actually free to do an auction. I personally always do a buy it now, just because I like to be safe and know exactly what I'm going to get for my item. So I'll do all the research and then price it competitively and do it like that. But yeah, that is a huge pro to eBay, is that it has very low fees, especially compared to Amazon. Another thing with eBay is it has fewer sellers. I believe there's about 1.2 million sellers compared to Amazon, which, like I said, was around 2. So there are a lot less sellers, which means it's a lot less competitive on eBay. It's a lot easier to sell on eBay. However, ranking on eBay is very different to ranking on Amazon. And personally, I find ranking on Amazon, which means getting a product to like the top spot, is much, much easier. And I'll speak about, this will be in the cons, but the whole idea of, yes, there are less sellers, but there are also less customers. So we'll get to that in the negative section. But there are less sellers, which means there are less people to compete with, and you're able to shine, like you're able to really stand out. And the last thing, which goes off my previous point, is eBay are not so into their rules. They're not like really like stuck with certain rules. So you can have a very fancy listing, super long title, a subtitle. They have a maximum amount of characters, but it is quite long. And then you can have a subtitle, you can have whatever images you want, you could have whatever description you want with images in the description, you can have colors in your description, you can have different text sizes, you can have themes. Let's just put it this way. If you're a good seller, you can really, really stand out with eBay. Like, you can be so much better than everyone else. And you see that a lot on eBay. You see sellers who just stand out over the crowd, and those sellers have like 300,000 reviews and sell thousands every single month. So you can really stand out quite a lot on eBay. So those are the pros. The cons behind eBay is there are a lot fewer consumers. So as I told you, eBay have a much smaller market share, and there are a lot less customers on eBay. It's not like Amazon, where there's, like I said, over 300 million customers. eBay doesn't have that. So yes, there are less sellers, but there are also less customers. So there are less eyeballs on your product, which at the end of the day, that's what's important. Another factor is that having a bestseller on, if you compare, I'm saying, having a bestseller on Amazon compared to eBay, having a bestseller on eBay will get you like this many sales, and having a bestseller on Amazon will probably get you, sorry, I said that wrong around. Having a bestseller on Amazon will get you like this many sales, and having a bestseller on eBay will get you like this many sales, because the market share just, that's not, they don't have that many customers, they don't get as many sales. So that's a big deal in my mind. Another thing is eBay has this myth around it, that people don't have as much confidence in it, because people think that all of eBay is secondhand. They think there's a lot of scamming going on. They think there's a lot of crap coming in from like China or something. They don't have as much, they don't have as much confidence in shopping on eBay. Like, whenever I speak to my friends about selling on eBay, they're all like, oh, it's all secondhand stuff, and like, I don't want that, I want something new. But actually nowadays, a lot of eBay is new stuff. A lot of sellers are new, and I would say the majority of sellers are just selling their old junk at home, like laptops and glasses and whatever, but there are quite a few sellers selling brand new items as a company, and it's their main source of income. But eBay has this myth about it, which is why I don't think eBay will ever overtake Amazon or ever be as big, because eBay will always be a marketplace, right? It will always be an auction place where you can get a good, cheap deal. It's not like Amazon, where Amazon is like a business, like it's a proper business. And lastly, it's harder to fulfill orders on eBay, and that makes sense because eBay doesn't have its own FBA system like Amazon does. With eBay, you pretty much have to ship the item yourself, which can be costly, or you can partner up or do some sort of deal with a drop shipping company or some sort of fulfillment company where you send all your stuff to their warehouse and they'll ship it for you, or you'll as you get sales, you'll take it to the post office and you have prepaid labels or something set up. However, that is complicated, and that could be quite expensive and quite time consuming. So in terms of fulfillment, I don't think eBay is as easy as Amazon in terms of fulfillment. And I would say those are the pros and cons that I could think of. I'm sure there are more, but those are the pros and cons of eBay. Lastly, let's have a look at doing this on your own website. So doing this on your own website, everyone loves the idea of doing it on their own website because you build up your brand. It's amazing for your to build up establishment and to really establish your brand, and to just to be I have my own website. I'm an established brand. I'm legit, right? People love doing that on a website, but they don't look at the big picture, right? Doing it on your website is ridiculously hard, and we're going to get to that in the cons, but let's just talk about the pros and see the benefits of doing it on your own website. So one thing is it establishes credibility for your brand. So if you have your own brand, firstly, you can set the prices because you have no competition with anyone else because it's all your products. So when someone sees your product, they will only see other versions of your product because it's all on your website. So that's a huge thing. And because it's your website, you can build brand awareness. But with Amazon, if you sell on Amazon, you're sort of just building up Amazon's brand. Or if you sell on eBay, you're building up eBay's brand. But if you sell on yourwebsite.com, you're building up your brand, right? You're building awareness to your brand. The more people that come to your website are seeing your website name, your brand, your logo, and it's amazing, and it's great for natural building because people will share your brand. They will tell their friends about it. For example, with Amazon or eBay, no one's going to really be like, oh, I bought this amazing cup on Amazon. Or they might be, but then they'll be like, I bought this amazing cup on Amazon, right? They're building up Amazon's brand. They're not going to say, I bought this amazing cup from this seller called, what was his name, on Amazon. People don't really think like that. Whereas if you're selling on your own website, they can be like, oh, I bought this amazing cup from this website, cups.com, whatever the name is, doesn't matter. But that is a huge part of it, especially word of mouth. So having a website is great for word of mouth. Another thing is it will probably be the lowest fees because yes, you'll have to set up a website and you can use platforms like Shopify, which is very cheap. I believe it's like $20 a month or $30 a month. It's not very much. And then you only pretty much have credit card fees, which is like 1 or 2%, maybe 3%. It's very, very low. You don't have final value fees or picking and packing fees. So the actual fees are much, much lower. However, you have to consider actually picking and packing. So you'll probably end up working with some sort of fulfillment company to fulfill your orders, or you'll fulfill them yourself, and that will cost. And then the last benefit, which is a huge benefit, which I touched upon just before, is upsells. With your own website, it is so easy to do an upsell. You can do upsells on the checkout page. You can do upsells on the order page. It's constant upsell because someone looks at, let's say you have a home, like a kitchen sort of, let's say you have a furniture website. You sell furniture, right? It is so easy for you to sell an armchair and a couch and a dining set all at the same time, all from your brand, because it's all there. Whereas if you're on Amazon, someone will go to Amazon, they'll find a chair, then they'll also find an armchair. It could be like completely separate sellers, right? Whereas with your own website, you get all the sales. So that makes a huge, huge difference. But there are cons. There are big, big cons. And the biggest one is you have to bring the customers to you. This is so difficult. This is so difficult. Brand awareness is, I personally think, one of the hardest things to do. It's very expensive, and you have to bring all the customers to your own website, right? You can do sponsored ads, you can do collaborations with Instagrammers and Facebook people and YouTube people to get people to your website, but it's very, very hard, okay? It's very hard, and you won't have any customers on your website. You will have to bring every single customer to your website, which will cost you money. So yes, you're saving on like Amazon fees and eBay fees, but you're paying for customers now, so it's actually going to cost you quite a bit of money. And that leads on to the next thing, is advertising is really, really expensive. So you'll have to do advertising. You'll just have to. I mean, if you don't do advertising, I guess you could work on word of mouth, but that will be very, very slow, and I don't actually know how big that can grow. You could also work from doing like an Instagram account, which could be free, or doing a YouTube channel or Facebook page or something. But if you really want to grow, you will need to do advertising. And advertising, I know firsthand, is expensive. I spent so much money on advertising, a ridiculous amount of money on advertising, and I know exactly how much clicks cost, I know exactly how much engagement costs, and I know it's expensive. So that is a huge, huge thing. And then customer service. Customer service within your own business is very hard. Now with Amazon and eBay, I still recommend you have good customer service. You speak to your customers, you sort stuff out, but you have the added benefit with Amazon anyway of having Amazon also help you with customer service. But with your website, you have to be fully in control of the sales, the customer service, returns, all of this stuff. And if you're lacking in customer service, it will not be good for you down the road. It's customer service is so unbelievably important, and you need to have good customer service. So having your website, you'll have to do all the customer service pretty much yourself. And leading on from the customer service is you also have to sort out the shipping yourself, make sure it gets to the customer, have all the insurances in place in case it doesn't, and like all of these different factors you'll have to consider yourself. So I think that's a big deal. So that is eBay, eBay, your website, and Amazon. Now let's just have a look at let's just discuss what we spoke about in this video, so you know what you can do to take action and what's next. So firstly, I would say pick a platform to help you get started, and ideally eBay or Amazon is great for that. I wouldn't start with a website. So pick a platform to help you get started, and just by the way, these are going to be like your takeaway steps of what you should be doing really. So step one sort of thing, pick a platform, eBay or Amazon, to help you get started, to help you get sales, because it's a great way of just making a bit of money, drawing traffic to your product, building a bit of brand awareness that could eventually lead to something bigger. Make sure to, number two, expand vertically and horizontally, which means this means expanding to other marketplaces. So if you're selling on Amazon in the US, sell on Amazon in the UK, sell on Amazon in Europe, look to expand, maybe sell on Amazon and sell on eBay, and then go to your website. So grow in all directions basically. Another number three is be aware of what will sell where well. What does that mean? So some products will sell a lot better on eBay than they would on Amazon. I personally think technical products like cameras, computers, phones, that sort of stuff will sell a lot better on eBay than it does on Amazon. That's from my personal experience. I've sold a lot more and I've had a lot more success selling tech stuff on eBay than I have had on Amazon. So then there's that to consider. And four, always have in the back of your mind or in your business plan the idea to branch out to your own website eventually. When you're making enough money on eBay or Amazon, and it's time to fully take this global with your own brand, your own website, everything, then start your own website. You'll have a lot more money to invest, you'll have a good product, you'll have customer base, and there are ways to incorporate your customers into your website. We discuss stuff like that in our course and on my YouTube channel, like by putting slips in and getting their emails, because usually when you buy on Amazon or eBay, you don't get their email. But with this, it allows you to get their email in a way that is actually allowed on Amazon without like infringing your account or anything. So like I said, always have in the back of your mind the goal to set up a website, set up a big brand, have like a full global domination basically. Yeah, that's basically it. So have that. So really, step one, get started. Just get started, eBay, Amazon. Step two, grow to different marketplaces. Step three, sell the right products on the right marketplaces and the right platforms. And step four is pretty much just grow to your own website and really grow out there and just make it big. So that's it for this video. I hope that made sense. My name is Shimmy Morris, and I'm making this video for AMZScout for their YouTube channel. If you want to check out my YouTube channel, it will be in the link in the description. I'm very excited. We also have a webinar coming up, so that will probably be in the link in the description as well. And I hope you've enjoyed this video. Don't forget to leave a comment down below which platform is your favorite, eBay, Amazon, or your own website, which platform you've maybe done. I'd love to hear what you have to say. Hopefully I can answer any of your questions. And yeah, hopefully I'll see you in the next video.